Walkwatchers, and welcome back to another one of our videos. So today I'm heading for Mullaghcarn, just outside Gortin Glen, and in fact I thought that it might be quite a good idea to walk the Mullaghcarn trail, which is part of the Sperrin's sculptural trail, because at the top of Mullaghcarn there is a giant. There's also one in Dara Forest, and there's also one down at the Sperrin Heritage Centre, and this one is of course on the top of Mullaghcarn mountain. So that's where I am today, and it shouldn't take me long. It's not a massive walk. It is a bit strenuous coming out of the car park now. There are some pretty steep hills, which is kind of good to get the heart going, but at the minute I'm just following the stream, the wee river, heading up towards the edge of the forest and then onto the mountain itself. So stay with us. Now the Gortin routes and loops and trails and tracks are all really well signposted throughout the park, but this one is the Mullaghcarn trail, and it's straight through the car park, up through the forest, follow the glen and up onto the side of the mountain. Now Gortin mainly is a coniferous forest, but push out past those big firs, spruce and pine trees and you're into heathland, and in amongst that heather there's interesting species like red grouse and stuff to be spotted, so keep your eyes peeled. The trail from the car park all the way to the top of Mullaghcarn and to the aerials is part of an access road. So most of what you're going to be walking on is either tarmac or stone or gravel paths, so it's really solid underfoot and easy walked. It's a long slow slope because it's not a big tall mountain, and this is pretty grueling as you're getting up here towards the masts. And there she is, the giant on top of the mountain. Isn't it just amazing that this huge big sculpture is standing at the top of this mountain? Well, not quite the top, because just behind it is the top of the mountain. There it is, Mullaghcarn at 542 metres in the Sperrin Mountains. So here we are at the top of Mullaghcarn, up with the giant Dara, who is up beside me. She is one of 3 sculptures on the Sperrin sculpture trail. One of 4 giants, 3 sculptures, 4 giants. So she is the guardian, and she's overlooking the landscape here over Donegal and Derry and Tyrone and a wee bit of Fermanagh. And she has an ecological theme. So she's guarding the land. But the storytellers are down at the Sperrin Heritage Centre. That's 2 giants there. And then over at Dava Forest, which is a Black Skies site, they have the Stargazer. So 4 giants, 3 sculptures on this sculpture trail, and I think it's fantastic. It's just beautiful. Something really different at the top of this mountain too, which is really, really cool, really different. Dara, interestingly enough, obviously from the Irish oak, all of the giants are made out of oak. And that's there's a number of things here. The giants are to connect with our old, ancient, mythical Ireland of storytelling and folklore and magic and the landscape, and also that oak connection is to connect with the 7 mystical, ancient, sacred trees of Ireland. And you're going to ask me what those 7 ancient trees are now, aren't you? Okay, let's see. Oak, apple, ash, elder, hazel, rowan. I'm missing one. Oh, you. You. The 7 ancient Irish sacred trees. So, yeah, the sculptures were done by an artist called Thomas Dambo. He's a Danish guy, and he's really well known internationally. And these type of sculptures, these giants, are sort of dotted across the world. There are quite a few elsewhere in the world too. So we have 4 giants here in this part of the world, in part of the Sperrins. Yeah, it's a really interesting thing to have at the top of a mountain. It's just great. The Mullaghcarn is 542 metres, so it's not a massive mountain, and as you saw, there's also an antenna on top of it. So the path is really easy to get up. It's a wee bit strenuous towards the end when you're coming up this elevation, but it's fine, it's grand. And in fact, hundreds of people do it at the last Sunday in July for the Mullaghcarn Heritage Walk. So they come up here to the cairn, and as they've done for thousands of years beforehand, and it's really to keep that tradition going, to walk to the top of the cairn and place a stone up here. That's another thing, actually, because Dara is surrounded by some standing stones, and that's to signify a portal, because we have lots of rings of standing stones across Ireland, and they're said to be portals to link to other parts of Ireland, and all of the giants are surrounded by a portal as well. So it's kind of linking those connections, or those other giants in those other places with this one. What else to tell you? Gortin Glen is a cracker place, and it's really well laid out. There's some amazing trails. I was just looking down the list. I'll just put them up here now, because there's a list of different trails and loops and things. So if you're just coming out for the day, I would definitely bring the kids to see Dara or even one of the other giants. But Gortin has a lot of little loops, or smaller loops, littler loops around. So you might want to go and try some of those if you're not brave enough to come and try the big long one to get up to here to the Mullaghcarn. Yeah, so nothing else for it, but I'm gonna spend some time here taking some photographs with Dara, and then I'm going to head back down. Now, unfortunately, it was a bit hazy and a bit cloudy, so I didn't really get to see the best of the views, because this little mountain looks out over the northwest towards Sol and Dart and the rest of the Sperrins, but out the other side you can see out to the east and away over to the Mourns and even Donard on a clear day. And then out the other side again, way out to the west, you can even see Errigal on a clear day. Yeah, I need to come back, I think. And look at Dara, sentinel over the landscape. Just fantastic. So now if you've been watching little trail maps in the corner, you'll see that I've now taken a slightly different route back home. Kind of creates a wee bit of a loop, but it takes me back down in through the coniferous forest, and there's some lovely wee trails in through this beautiful conifer forest before I get back down to the car park. Now, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I know you had options today, so thank you for clicking on our video. If you haven't subscribed, get over there, click on the button and click the wee notifications bell, because 60% of people who watch this video won't be subscribed, believe it or not. So please do us a favour and subscribe and get the notifications to see when we're putting up another video. And that's us back to the car park. So this has been the Walkwatchers walk of Mullaghcarn and the Giant. So why don't you get your boots on, go outside and go exploring, and I'll see you again next time.